Greetings and salutations, this is Marita75 with another Playroom Reactions. This one's from Watchmojo, another versus to be precise. This one is Kratos versus Bayonetta. God Slayer Duel. Alright, game on.
Time to see which of these two God Slayers comes out on top.
You have started a war you cannot possibly win.
Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and in this installment of Video Game Duels, we're pitting the God of War Kratos against the Umbra Witch Bayonetta. Round 1, Strength and Endurance.
Death will not be a gentle one.
In his quest for vengeance, Kratos hasn't only given out beatings, but taken some as well.
Even now, I shall call your last praise to continue to defy me.
Engaging in a tug-of-war with Hades and exchanging fists with Hercules, just to name a few. We could dedicate a whole list to Kratos' own particular labors, but his most significant are by far when he was able to withstand the monumental strength of Cronus, as well as stabbing himself with the blade of Olympus. He just walks it off and goes on to grow that Nordic beard. Pretty badass.
I am hungry.
On the other side, she may look slender and sensual, but those legs aren't just for gawking at. They've also kicked a jet out of the air. Her mastery over witch time and her Lumen Umbra heritage has granted Bayonetta impressive strength of her own. While she prefers to either shoot or torture her angelic enemies to death, she's not above sending them flying with those heels of hers either. Of course, we can't forget about the time when a satellite was sent hurtling at her, which, of course, she simply knocked right the hell back.
Looks like a return to sender on that one.
Bayonetta may be powerful, but she relies more on her talents as a witch than brute force. Plus, she hasn't taken as many beatings as Kratos, who came back after literally tearing himself apart. Winner, Kratos.
The point goes to Kratos.
Round 2, Weapons, Powers, and Equipment. Where do we even begin with this one? Kratos' most reliable weapons have always remained some variant of the Blades of Chaos, able to slice apart enemies up close or at a distance. While he does have some items like the Golden Fleece to help in his defense, the God of War mostly likes to stick to his namesake. Instruments of death such as the Blade of Olympus, hooks of Hades, and Nemean Cestus have all torn apart the most seasoned of mythological creatures. While her signature weapons remain her 4 firearms attached to each of her limbs, Bayonetta isn't afraid to get up close and personal either. Her trademark Witch Time ability allows her to dodge pretty much anything and slow down time. And her demonic arsenal, including the living katana Rakshasa, aren't to be messed with. But the creme de la creme comes from the power of the Wicked Weave, where her hair acts as a catalyst to summon otherworldly entities, the strongest being Queen Sheba, being whose single punch rivals that of the power of the Big Bang, which she used to punch the creator of the universe into the sun. Also badass.
Awesome.
We love Kratos' weaponry as much as the next guy, but Witch Time is the true game changer here. Kratos does have the Amulet of Fates that can match Bayo's ability, but it only works if he's close to a statue of the Fates, whereas Bayonetta can trigger this ability at the drop of a hat, easily giving her the upper edge.
So you know what that means. The point goes to Bayonetta.
Break these, because they're one of a kind.
Round 3, Allies.
You always know how to make an entrance, John.
Oh boy, this one definitely isn't in Kratos' favor, since everyone who looks like they might be a friend either ends up dead or betrays him, or both.
You disappoint me, Spartan.
Ares turned him into the mightiest soldier, but tricked him into killing his family. Zeus granted him the Blade of Olympus, but then later used it to send him to the underworld. The Titans brought him back for his final vengeance, only to send him to the underworld again. Even the good-hearted ones like Pandora, Athena, and Orcus end up fading out of existence after helping him out. Man, this guy just can't catch a break.
For you to be free,
No.
I must die by your hand.
While originally a mysterious and confrontational figure from her past, Bayonetta's closest confidant is her fellow Umbra witch, John, who is equally as flashy and just as good at laying the smackdown on angels. Then there's Rotan, a fallen angel who not only makes a mean cocktail, but also provides her with all of her devilish weaponry. They may be few, but their talents in killing ensure Bayonetta is always locked and loaded, and has someone at her back that she can trust.
Right. I'll go easy on you guys. So let's have some fun.
No surprises here, but any ally Kratos has is 6 feet under and probably in 6 pieces, leaving him to stand alone against 2 beautiful but vicious ladies armed to the teeth.
I'll send you out and you can kill them. Now, let's finish this.
Winner, Bayonetta.
That point easily goes to Bayonetta.
Now, doesn't it?
Round 4, Determination.
If all on Olympus would deny me my vengeance, then all on Olympus will die.
Kratos has only ever had one thing on his mind.
Revenge. Zeus, your son has returned. I bring the destruction of Olympus.
Even after he managed to slay the former god of war, there always seems to be someone just waiting to wrong him. Case in point with Zeus. In order to get back at the father of the gods, Kratos lets nothing stand in his way, slaying practically every major character in Greek mythology just to get even.
No matter how many gods fall, there will always be another to stand against you.
They will fall as well.
The Olympians should really get with the concept that should you wrong him, Kratos will defy all odds and kill as many people just for the chance to get at your throat. After awakening with no memory of who she was, Bayonetta pursued her past, which more often than not involved taking out the inhabitants of Heaven's spheres.
Where did you get this?
You gave it to me, Mummy, for my birthday.
Her laid-back attitude may seem a little disconcerting, but that's because she knows how powerful she is, and even the strongest of angels is just a footnote on her way to the truth. As such, she doesn't come across as desperate in her goals, much preferring a brisk pace. Of course, if you try to harm a friend of hers in any way, you're in for a video lifetime.
I'm not one of the pets who don't listen to the bastards.
One point that's worth mentioning is that both characters, at some stage, end up escaping from their game's version of hell. But a fixation on such a poisonous goal as revenge has allowed Kratos to push himself to the very limits, and as such, he's been able to overcome obstacles and enemies that few could. Even at her most passionate, Bayonetta doesn't seem to have quite as much drive as the Ghost of Sparta.
No, I have no father.
Winner,
It all comes down to the final round.
Destroy Olympus. Only Zeus.
Round 5, Exploitable Weaknesses.
A single tear and you'll be crying alone. Got it?
Okay, Mummy.
You can't go through everything Kratos has been through without being at least partially traumatized. The constant guilt from killing his family, his ever-present rage, it comes as no surprise that he's kind of unhinged. Of course, instead of breaking down and weeping, it's more likely to fuel the fire of his anger.
Of all the lives you should worry about, Helios, mine is not one of them.
He'll sacrifice almost anything to achieve his goal, aka that time he used a helpless woman to jam the mechanism. Not to mention, with the upcoming PS4 God of War game, Kratos will lose control if his rage is not kept in check.
Oh my god, that would be bad.
Bayonetta is a free spirit by all means. She enjoys the pleasant things in life and feels no shame for the violence she conducts against the agents of Paradiso. As you can guess, she conducts herself in a very arrogant and cocky manner.
Yours is a face only a mother could love, and one I could never forget.
To be fair, if we could play Frisbee with a satellite, it might be warranted, but such an attitude might leave an opening for an opponent to take advantage of. Of course, they would need to be insanely powerful, but it still stands as a painted target on her back.
Another day in the life. Maybe you should try being nice to me.
The Umbra Witch's savvy nature, silver tongue, and tendency to rile people up the wrong way is the very thing that could easily get under Kratos' skin, especially if she raised points about his dead family. We have no doubt that Bayonetta could flip his Berserker switch in mere minutes upon confronting him.
So there's no idea. Watch and learn.
Winner, Bayonetta.
The only rust on me is from the lack of any real challenge.
The brawl would truly be worthy of legends, but Bayonetta's superior weaponry and powers would eventually win out the day when combined with Kratos' unchecked psyche and bloodlust.
The winner, Bayonetta.
Don't fuck.
Do you agree with our result? Who do you think should have won?
Together, we will destroy the petty gods, and we will see Olympus crumble before us.
With new video game duels on the way, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
Let's dance, boys.
And that is it. Who knew this Slayer Jewel will have the Umber Witch come away with the victory? And she said it herself, don't fuck with the witch. Anyway, this is Margaret75. The link will be in the description for this video, and I will catch you on the flop side.